as far as like, so after North Americans, the biggest thing I want to focus on, which we've already talked about, but just for this, is like staying tighter in the off season for sure, right? Yeah, and like limiting that excessive weight gain. Because
well, it's like not to cut you off, like me and you both hit like all-time high weights this off season, and
Yeah, bro. I remember seeing you for the first time since like I forget. I haven't seen you in months. You're like fucking 295. Like what? Fucking me, you're 295, bro.
the tough thing though is that like it doesn't look bad. Like it's tough. Hard.
No, that's what I mean. He looked like he was like 5% body fat.
yeah, that's the weird part. Like we weren't soft.
Yeah, that's like why it's hard for me to tell. Like when am I too heavy?
And I wasn't even pushing food that hard either. It was just my body wants to grow. But the thing is, like, I think for us, it's like we said when we were talking about this. Like, okay, say we could be like in the 290s and like still have visible abs. You're not ripped, but you're not. Or would we be better off being like 270, 280, but leaner and in striking distance? Like, hey, if I want to do a show in 8 weeks, I can make it happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not that we would do that, but I'm saying like be in that single digit 10 to 12 body fat range where you're the most insulin sensitive, the most receptive to your food, and then kind of keep that like true the whole year like a prep with more flexibility, obviously. Yeah. But just never having that like I'm off. And like, no, we're not off, especially because, you know, me being a pro, you soon to be a pro. Like being a pro, one of the things that's different is you compete more often if you want to do damage and you want to make a name for yourself. And it's like, I think just staying in that state where you are in striking distance and proximity so the preps aren't extended periods of time.
Yeah.
Not even that this one was like that.
No,
it really wasn't bad, but just, it's like we said, like just from a, you know, health benefit and a gym performance benefit, do we need that extra 15 to 20 pounds of weight?
Yeah.
Or are we better off being a little bit leaner, but we would have every bit just as much muscle?
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus just extra bloat and so I think, yeah, exactly. Just walking around at that because it does decrease your gym performance too.
Yes.
Because when you're lighter, you have more steam in the gym, you have more endurance and stamina. It actually makes your training better.
Yeah.
Versus like, you know, when we were in the 290s and we're training, it's like you get out of breath a lot easier. It's like you get more fatigued, and it's like you feel strong. But then at 270, I'm just as strong, but I feel lighter on my feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why go above that?
Yeah. And that's where I think I really want to focus.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just because I don't think there's a much benefit for
just for long-term health too.
Yeah. But who cares, Paul?
Just kidding. I was talking to my mom after Tampa, and you know, everyone's like, so just to give you guys a recap on Tampa, since I got
Finally get the recap.
I can't avoid it forever.
It's funny. We were gonna do it at night.
I'm like, no.
Brandon's like, yo, I'm going to sleep. It's all right. He's like, do it in the morning.
Give him a few days.
Wake him up, or try to wake him up. Like, you still want to do it? He's like, oh, still want to get back. Now we're here a week later.
So yeah, it's been a week. So yeah, what happened was, I got in great shape. I was right at the top of my weight cap, shredded, most muscular I've ever been for sure, right at 241. My cap's 242. I competed in Classic, my pro debut. And things didn't go the way we wanted. I don't think I brought the same look to the stage that I had that same morning. What went wrong in between? There's a few different variables. I'm not going to go into it. There's no one to blame. There's no excuses. But bodybuilding's trial and error. You live and you learn. And bodybuilding is not for the faint of heart. It's one of those sports where, you know, things happen. You got to brush yourself off and get back up and learn from it. Overall, the experience was incredible. Met so many cool people, so many helpful people, other athletes, other pros I'm watching on YouTube, big names in the industry, and they were all so nice and so inviting. The show was ran so well. It was a blast overall. Tampa was an awesome time. Getting to train at MI40, just be surrounded by great people and great energy. So overall, it was a great experience. But placings wise, you know, I got shafted right to the back of the pack. Rightfully so. My presentation wasn't up to par. On top of not being 100%, you know, and I had some underlying anxiety going into the show because I knew I was not practicing my posing or my vacuums like I should have been, and I didn't have good abdominal control, and that was why I got, you know, feedback on right away from the judges. And you know, it's just that's something I got away with as an amateur, and I can't get away with it as a pro. And there was the gut punch I needed to kind of have a wake up call, and hey, this is what you need to work on. So I'm going to focus on, mastering that going forward and really committing myself to it wholeheartedly. So that's where my sights are set, and the show goes on, I'm not stopping. So,
Posing video coming soon.
we're going to pick back up posing videos coming soon. But yeah, so that's to recap that experience overall. I'm really hungry and determined to come back now. But honestly, man, a lot of people are like, oh, don't get discouraged. And obviously it's a blow to the ego for sure. And it is a little bit tough mentally, but overall, I got to say, I love bodybuilding more than ever. This prep was so rewarding. It was so fun. I had so much personal development, and you get so much personal development every time you prep.
So it's a different prep. You always come out a different person.
Yeah. And I think honestly, like, as funny as it is, like, even a lot of people, given the outcome that I had, they would be like really down on themselves. And to a degree I was, but I love bodybuilding more than ever, man. And I'm determined to be the best. And I can honestly say, like, I feel like I got bit by the bug all over again. Like I'm a teenager again, finding, the weight room. So
Is that the biggest thing you learned on this prep? Because we went over his.
biggest thing I learned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just need to master my presentation and take that just as every bit as seriously, do my diet and training, and really commit myself to the art, not just the performance aspect. And, that's where most of the improvement lies for me. Obviously, there's always improvements to make your physique too and stuff, and that, you can always do better. But collectively, that's what I took from it. So
Let's start with the lowest hanging fruit.
yeah,
Let's remember.
Yeah.
So if you can make little future changes and tweaks to your posing, it makes a huge difference.
Huge. If that's where your training and your size and everything else it's right there. It is not the thing that
even needs to remotely be focused on or go. But I think it's cool because I'd say we're very similar in the fact that a lot of people don't do very well with, I don't want to say necessarily negative feedback, but that gut punch that you need sometimes. Some people don't do well with that. Like it almost like shuts them down in a way versus for people like you and I where it does the opposite.
but I feel like if that's the difference between a bodybuilder and,
It never is.
someone who's doing this for recreational, you know what I mean? If you're a true bodybuilder, you're going to take defeats on your way. All the greatest bodybuilders in history have taken many defeats before their victories, and they stand back up and keep going. And that literally is like the epitome of bodybuilding is, how many times you get knocked down and stand back up. And I mean, if you don't have that, resilience and tenacity, then bodybuilding is probably not for you. And it's okay to be discouraged and, take the blow to the ego, but it's more important if you have the heart of a champion and a bodybuilder. Bodybuilders, regardless of the outcome, you get back up and keep going. And even like, my clients I deal with, whether it's their first show, the one speech that I always give them is, you'll know you're a bodybuilder if this is your mindset. If I go in, and this is the mindset I've gone into every show with, say I go into a show and I get my butt kicked, get it handed to me, like I just did a week ago today. The outcome is the same. I am super driven now to be better than ever, get back in the gym, get back on my program. And I'm almost like an excited kid. Like I can't wait to make my new workouts and to see what tweaks I can make and how much better I can be. There's almost like this, this buzz to it. Like, gosh, yeah, I'm going to get back at it. And then, what the truth is? Say everything went my way and I won, or I got top 3, or I did great. The exact same feeling. So if you don't win at first, try again. And that's bodybuilding. Yeah. But the outcome, if you're a true bodybuilder at heart, the outcome will be the same: motivation, tenacity, and the eagerness to improve.
Yeah, I'd say that goes with just about anything. Like, if you want to be good at anything, you have to be willing to.
It's like someone starting a business, right? What's the reality of it? You're probably going to fail 3 times before things get up and rolling. But, what makes difference between like a, multi-millionaire businessman and then someone who can't even, it's the tenacity to keep going, even when you get knocked down. Right.
So yeah, guys, that wraps it up for 2025 PA Muscle. As far as the outcome, Taylor got second, super heavies, not the outcome we were hoping for. Obviously, we wanted to win, but he still qualified for North American, so the show goes on. Still sticking to the same plan. We still think we can get that pro card. We still think we make an impact there. So we're going to take these next 3 weeks, just tighten up, and the plan is coming just a touch drier, and just adjust some poses, just to show his strong points a little bit more. and then just come in, bring the best package of fullness, hardness, just a little bit drier.
It was definitely the best look I've had yet. League's better than last year. League the year before that, it's just gotten better and better.
Yeah.
The judges' feedback I just got, they said, huge future for the sport, like just
Good feedback.
very good feedback. They said literally I just need to come out a little bit drier.
So they agreed with exactly what we thought.
Literally said you come out a little bit drier North Americans, yeah. So you said you have a beautiful physique. It's very well rounded for the weak needs. Just there needs to be a little bit drier.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, you were definitely the biggest in the show, definitely the most muscular. I don't know this for a fact, but I would bet money that he was the heaviest for sure.
Think so.
One of the better conditioned.
Yeah.
So the guy he ended up going up against was Kyle Welts. When he came in, he had a really good package.
He did.
And he was just dry, conditioned. Really good presentation. Really knew how to hit his strong points and show them all. I wish they would have had like a call out between you two because I think it was quite close. I think it was coin toss.
Yeah.
So I wish they made it a little bit more
Dramatic.
exciting. You know, it's always
It's kinda
fun
fun,
from the spectator
yeah.
perspective when you have a good rivalry like that. But either way, I think it was clearly, you know, you two were way ahead of the rest of the pack in terms of open bodybuilding. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah, and I'm actually like kind of glad that he showed up because if otherwise we like came and just literally just swept the show.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been as interesting.
Right. And it's
Until you
like,
have that fire.
yeah, because now you have that motivation to go into North Americans even better, harder, tighter. Versus otherwise, you know, if Oldens came and swept the show, we might not have changed anything going on.
Yeah.
Wawa hoagies.
It's kind of showed what we could. The package he brought kind of exposed where we could improve. So it was almost the perfect adversary.
Right. Yeah, because it's not like he was bigger than me.
Yeah.
Or paint like that. It's just little harder, drier.
Yeah. And then for him, this was a big deal too. I think this was, I don't know the full story, but I was listening to the podcast with him, and I think he sustained a major injury.
I'm not sure what happened.
He was away from the stage for 4 years. So this was his comeback. So this was a big deal for him.
Yeah.
So definitely want to congratulate him too. Give props
He
for
looked
the-
very good.
Yeah, he looked great. And then outside of that, Sam, he did great. This was his first show ever. He ended up winning his class, which was awesome. So he went away with a victory, first place finish. And then our friend Nick, who ironically is actually a client of Kyle's, who ended up going up against. He won his class, right?
Yeah.
So in classic, both of them were classic. So yeah, overall, everyone who came with did really well.
Yeah.
It was a good day, the end day. Definitely learned a lot. And like I said, even though it's like bittersweet, right? Because we needed that victory. I think for you to have someone come in with a little bit of hype that has like a pretty good reputation in the sport and some clout, to have that come in kind of made it a little bit more exciting for you. And definitely what you found out a day before, right?
Yeah.
So it was a little, okay, now we have something.
Yeah, because I knew going in, like, as of up to that point, like, bro, as far as I know, it wasn't really showing up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want there to be some representation to be used to, for sure. Especially before going to North America, being what it is. Yeah, I want to be able to test where I'm at. So
That's the waters.
but that's
That's
kind
some
of
competition.
exactly. So it really did bring out. He exposed my weak points a little bit.
Yeah. In a way that gives us good data to go off. And overall, guys, that's what bodybuilding's all about. The name of the game is bodybuilding is holding yourself to the highest level of accountability. You know, if you're someone that you pick and choose your shows to avoid people or avoid competition or avoid the hardest challenge, you're not a bodybuilder. You know, bodybuilders are always, we want to go up against the best because we want to be the best. So you always want to give yourself the biggest challenge possible. And sooner or later, if you're going to climb your way to the top, you're going to have to go past all these guys.
Yep.
So there's no use in avoiding anybody.
But that's a good point because, like, my mentality is always like, if I'm going into a show and I can't, win this show, what am I going to do at a pro show? Right? It's like, I need to be able to earn my way both top or bottom. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I win the show and there's nobody here. I go North Americans and get lucky or whatever it happens and win it and go pro. If I'm not able to compete as a pro, what's the point?
Yeah, and then something cool you see is like a lot of the guys that shine as amateurs, they'll turn pro, and then over their career between amateur to professional to Olympia, like they'll come back and clash different years, different times. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool to see that too.
Yeah, excited.
So it's fun. So overall, I would say it's a solid day. A lot of lessons learned, like anything. Just like me last week in Tampa. Good feedback to go off of.
Very good
To work from. And well, that's a wrap. We're gonna get out of here. Lancaster, it's been real. It's been fun. Any closing words?
Just gonna keep doing what we're doing. The biggest thing for this is like I've already gotten like a lot of messages about me doing what I do is inspiring and motivating other people, and that to me means more than anything else. Like I go through these shows and it inspires, motivates other people to do shows, improve their physique, train harder, things like that. Like that to me is the biggest ring. So no matter what, like the way I look at this is, we've gotten a really good relationship down with coaching. About like figured out some things, got nailed some things down a little bit more. Inspired, motivated some people, and overall bought a really good package, best package to date. So I'm gotta be out of you. Yeah. Obviously we're gonna win, but yeah, you learn way more from your failures than you do the victories. So
Exactly. And then on a closing note, just want to give a shout out to the promoters, the staff, the vendors, everyone here. Guys, if you're looking for a show to do and you're an amateur, PA Muscle is definitely the best show the state of Pennsylvania holds for an amateur show, state level show. Great venue. Lancaster's an awesome town. It's been a blast here every year. The turnout's always better and better. Sponsors are great. All it's ran is real smooth. And I would suggest the show to anybody from sleeping from the area.
it's my favorite one in PA for sure. I've done a handful.
All right. That about does it. Catch you guys later.